Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com, follow on Twitter at NFL Draft Bible, and it's a pleasure to now welcome onto the show Illinois State defensive back getting ready for the 2018 NFL Draft. He's defensive back DraShane Glass, and DraShane, we really do appreciate you taking some time to chat this evening. How's everything going?
It's pretty good, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, absolutely. The pleasure's all mine. And we'll start off by talking about what you're doing now. You're training for your pro day at Michael Johnson Sports Performance back in your home state of Texas, one of the top facilities in the country. Many current and former NFL players have gone through Michael Johnson Sports Performance. Take us through some of the activities that they have you doing in order for you to be in tip-top shape come pro day.
We've really been focused on 40 starts, working on knee drive and thigh separation to get that maximum speed for our 40s. We've been working on techniques for 5-10-5s, drill, and I feel like the coach there, Coach C, he just emphasized technique a lot, and technique is what will help your time grow and be better. So we've been working on a lot of technique and weightlifting. It's pretty tough. They already increased 2 reps to 225 in a week. So I feel like it's working and it's real good. It's a real good program.
Any specific goals or numbers that you'd like to hit come pro day? I mean, especially for a guy like yourself, kind of under the radar, coming from a smaller school like Illinois State in the FCS, a nice pro day could really boost your draft stock.
Yes, sir. At least a 4.40, mid 4.4s, hopefully low 4.4s, about 36, 38 vertical, about 10, 11 broad jump, 15, 225 reps, at least a 4.1, 4. Trying to get my L code down to 6.7, 6.8. So I'm aiming for that right now.
Absolutely. And of course, if you're able to hit those numbers again, that could really do well for you and your future and the possibility of making it to the next level. Of course, though right now what we do know, looking at your tape, and you have a lot of it, you played all 4 years there at Illinois State, starting as a true freshman, DraShane, and we're going to talk a little bit about your Illinois State Redbird career in just a moment, but I'm sure this person helped you land there at Michael Johnson Sports Performance to train for your pro day, and that's your agent. It's one of the most important decisions when it comes to the pro process, and that is finding an agent. What was that whole process like for you, and how did you who did you ultimately end up signing with?
It was kind of rough at the beginning, and then I found that right one for me, Rachel Dalen. She's new in the business. She has a few big names coming out this year, and she has somebody for the Redskins. She really showed me that she believed in me, and she seen my tape. She said I got a heart. A lot of teams love that. She said she know my situation. She know I'm not gonna lay down. She know I got a 5-year-old son, and I'm a grind hard for him and try to make the best life for me and him. So she really believed in me, and she took a chance on me, and I really appreciate that.
No doubt about it. Now, of course, scouts have been in and out of Illinois State University in Normal, Illinois, over the past handful of years now. I mean, it seems like every year Illinois State has at least a prospect or two coming out. Again, it's another loaded class of full of Redbirds, including yourself, including Devontae Harris, who we just had on about a month ago and was at the East-West Shrine game, Dalton Keene, Alec Coker. I mean, the list goes on. It's another very impressive list of Redbirds coming out into the 2018 NFL Draft. So again, I know scouts and NFL teams, they've been in and out of Illinois State over the years, DraShane. Have you been able to interact with any scouts? Any idea how teams might view you?
No, I have not, but me personally, if I'm a scout, I would say he's a hardworking kid. He doesn't give up on any play. Every play he doesn't take a play off. Very athletic. So I feel like I'm smart in the game. I feel like that's a big up for me. My knowledge of the game, I can play everything on the field in the back end. So I feel like that's a big part that scouts recognize and see.
No doubt about it. Again, you guys are tuned in to the 2018 NFL Draft Bible Players Prospect Show. We're chatting with Illinois State defensive back DraShane Glass. And again, DraShane, you spent all 4 years there at Illinois State. You were able to get playing time right away there at Illinois State for the Redbirds. We actually have going to be playing your highlights now on the screen for the people to watch. And we have those playing right now. I mean, just talk about the versatility that you bring to the table, DraShane. I mean, you throughout the years you've been able to play cornerback, defensive back, cornerback, nickelback, safety. I mean, talk about the versatility that you bring to the table, and is that something that you take pride in? And of course, out of those positions in the defensive backfield, I mean, which one do you prefer playing over the others?
I feel like me being able to play corner, my coaches, I took a lot of pride in all my coaches believing in me and just saying, hey, we need you at safety this game, or we need you at nickel this game. We need you at corner. We need you at boundary corner. We need you at field corner. We need you at boundary safety. If somebody go down, or always be ready. I feel like that is a big up when I'm coming up and scouts looking at it. I feel like safety is kind of a big one for me. I feel like I like that the most just because I'm able to be everywhere around the field and spread the field and play the run and use my football smarts and just be around the ball. And that's the type of player I am. I like to be on the ball. I like to create turnovers. I'm all about trying to get the ball back to the offense.
No doubt about it. And, again, I mean, and we got your tape playing now. The people are seeing some of your highlights if they're not familiar with your game. And there was just an interception by against Youngstown State. I mean, and you do it against some of the top receivers. I mean, the Missouri Valley Football Conference is one of the top conferences in the nation, regardless of it being FCS or FBS. In my opinion, the Missouri Valley is absolutely loaded. And DraShane, I believe you were one of 5 guys on the Redbirds team this past season that was able to see some action in that 2014 FCS National Championship game against Carson Wentz and the North Dakota State Bison, again, back in 2014. I know it was a special opportunity for everybody, a part of both teams, really, but for you specifically, I mean, being from the Texas area, and, Frisco, Texas was only, I believe, 45 minutes away from your hometown. How special was that for you to play in the biggest game of the season in front of, I'm sure, a bunch of family and friends?
Oh yeah, man, that was big time for me. I had about a real special experience. Just kind of disappointing the way it went. Couldn't come up with a win, but just being able to be in that position and play on a big stage like that, it was a great experience.
And you guys Illinois State have made the FCS playoffs, 3 times, I believe, since then. Did you ever think that would be your one and only time playing in the FCS National Championship game? And then knowing that it was, now looking back and knowing that it was your one and only time playing in that game, I mean, does that make you, have more respect for what North Dakota State have been able to do over the years?
I definitely didn't think it was my last time. Every time we lost in the playoffs, it was just like how we all felt like how do we lose? But no, North Dakota State, man, you can't slip up, and that's how they beat us. They caught us on some mistakes, a roughing the punter, and they gave them great field position, and they ran the ball in and scored, and it kind of felt like because nobody was moving the ball the whole game, and that one piece of momentum they got, they took advantage of it. You cannot slip up against them, so you got to respect that. They're well coached.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And some great talent on that team as well. How would you say you've grown as a player? I mean, I know that's 3-4 years ago. How would you say you've grown from a player from your true freshman year to now your senior year in your collegiate career now officially being over?
Just being more disciplined. keep like not veering off my eyes. I feel like my eyes have gotten way better, and reading my run pass keys, keep my eyes on the receiver, double moves. Just I feel like I've just got way smarter about football. Just watching NFL football, I'm like, man, you got to read the tackle to know get your run pass key, and I see safeties dropping back, and it's a obviously run play, and I'm just like, man, that's crazy.
You know, we've talked about your versatility and playing all over the defensive backfield, whether it's at cornerback, safety, nickelback. You know, we're at the point of your highlights where we're starting to see your impact on special teams. DraShane, how important is it for you to make an impact on special teams? What does that aspect of the game mean to you? And you know, I'm sure you would know as a later round prospect or being viewed as a later round prospect or a priority free agent. That's probably where you're going to have to make your money at first.
Sure. Just special teams is that I feel like the team with the best special teams they win the game and can get down the field and beat. In the NFL they do 2-man on a gunner, so it's like you could beat them down, and the game's all about field position. So with me being able to get off the line and use my speed and my agility, I feel like that's a big thing for me when scouts are looking at that.
Yeah, and you see it, and you're not afraid to get physical, and you know that's something in a defensive back I absolutely love. That's something I look into a lot in defensive backs is whether or not they're willing to get physical, whether it's there at the line of scrimmage as a gunner on special teams, or you know going one-on-one on a receiver, or you know being the last line of help there as a safety. I absolutely love physical defensive backs, and I think that's what you ultimately need to do in order to be a versatile versatile defensive back is you know have that physical trait, and we see it in your game, DraShane, and you know throughout your career, and we have your career stats listed here on the screen as well. DraShane, 182 tackles, 8 interceptions. 27 pass breakups. I mean, these numbers are quite impressive. 4 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. But when what will be the first play you remember when looking back at your collegiate career? You know, let's say 10, 20 years down the line.
Probably I think it was my second to last play ever on defense, chasing down North Dakota State quarterback after he broke loose and come from behind, ball out and creating a fumble to try to give my team another chance to take the field and try to win, but we couldn't recover the fumble. So I feel like that was everybody said, man, that's your game, that's who you are. You have heart, you don't have quit, you don't have any quitting, stuff like that's a play that I always remember.
And a similar question, if you were to recommend, you know, go back and recommend just one game throughout your 4 years at Illinois State to an NFL scout, what game would that be?
Probably Western Illinois this year, or South Dakota State this year. I had a pretty game, or last year South Dakota State.
Okay, and of course, you know, both teams have pro prospects on both sides of the ball, especially South Dakota State, of course, wide receiver Jake Weineke and tight end Dallas Goedert being the main two over there. So I'm sure NFL teams would like to see that as well. You know, you going up against other guys that are looked at as NFL prospect and NFL ready. A few more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. Again, we're chatting with 2018 NFL draft prospect DraShane Glass, cornerback, defensive back, safety, nickelback, very versatile player out of Illinois State here on the NFL Draft Bible Players Prospect Show. And you know, let's carry on from where we just left off at, DraShane. Opponents. I mean, who would you say is you know one of the better players that you've played against over the past 4 years? Was there ever you know a quarterback or a wide receiver that you looked at on the schedule and you knew if their team was listed on the schedule, you knew you had to look out for them?
Yeah, South Dakota State, Jake Weineke, great route runner. We knew as a defense we had to stop him and Dallas Goedert to have a chance to win the game, and I feel like that was always the team we had to take a special game plan and take them two out of the game. So yeah, Jake Weineke and Dallas Goedert, they're two excellent players.
Yeah, to say the least, you got that right. Is there a current or former NFL player that you kind of have grown up watching and take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own. Not necessarily saying, you turn on the tape, you're going to see this player, right away out of me. But, what are some qualities you like to take away from current and former NFL players?
Tyrann Mathieu, he's always running the ball. I feel like he's all about turnovers and getting the offense the ball back. And he's small, same size as me. I feel like that's what I try to model my game after, trying to be ball hungry and be that special guy that the team needs to try to get the ball back.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tyrann Mathieu, again, I mentioned the cool trait, the physicality, the physical defensive backs. I mean, I absolutely love one of my favorite players as well. And I see we have one of your former teammates, DraShane, Davante Harris. He is tuned in, commenting "my boy" with about 4 exclamation points. What was it like being a part of the secondary with Davante Harris and even like an Alec Coker, who I'm scheduled to speak with tomorrow, also trying to give this pro football thing a shot. I mean, what was it like to play with these guys, in such a loaded secondary?
It was fun. And that's especially Davante, man. Me and him got real close this year, being seniors, knowing we was both having the same goal, and we both was at cornerback. So it was just me and him would always be together all the time, and then Coker, me and him always since freshman year, me and him was back there starting against Southern Illinois as freshmen, trying to win the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. So we all real close, man. It's just real fun playing with you guys.
And you know what? You talk about the great times, and over the past 4 years, now you guys are going to move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully, what do Illinois State fans or FCS football fans have to look out for the future of Illinois State football? I mean, a lot of talent will be missing, or a lot of talent will be moving on. I'm sure we'll be having a lot of talent being brought up as well there at Illinois State.
Oh yeah, Coach Spack he's not just because somebody left, it doesn't matter. He's always say we're the next man team, so and anybody's going to be ready. That we got a few young guys. Jason Harris on the defensive line, he's going to be the leader of that line. I feel like next year, Tuvon Clark, other defensive end, and in the back end, we got some young guys, but they're real athletic, real smart, and I feel like they'll help out a lot.
All right, final question for you, and then I'll let you go. Really do appreciate your time this evening, man. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're tuned in, listening to this very interview. Why should they want DraShane Glass, the Illinois State Redbirds defensive back, a part of their organization?
Because I will anybody. I'm just a hard worker. I got heart, no quit. I'm physical. I feel like I'll be a great pick for any team because put me anywhere and I'll do it. That's the type of guy that I am.
And we've seen that over the past 4 yees. DraShane, I really do appreciate you taking some time. We do have the Redbirds represented here on this little wall back here. I'm not sure if you noticed that or not. Again, got a lot of Redbirds to talk to this draft season, like yourself, Davante Harris, Alec Coker tomorrow, Dalton Keene as well. A lot of Redbirds going to be making it, I think, into the NFL. A lot of Redbirds already in the NFL having a lot of success, and I think the numbers will only get bigger. Again, DraShane, hopefully we could keep in touch, and certainly wishing you all the best, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.